Good morning, my name is Gabriela Dul and I work in the Polish Book Institute, in which I am responsible for Bookstart program Small Book Great Person and promoting reading among children and young adults. And today in my presentation I would like to tell you about ways of increasing readership in Poland thanks our social campaign, because we firmly believe that the readership can grow along with children. And now a little bit more about the Polish Book Institute, which is a national institution established in 2003 by Minister of Culture to promote Polish literature abroad and readership in Poland. We are responsible for the Polish presence at book fairs around the world, and we provide financial support for publishers aiming to publish work of Polish literature in foreign languages translations. Since 1999, the Copyright Poland Translation Program has provided about 2,700 grants for translation into 50 different languages published in 63 countries. And if you are a publisher or a translator and you are interested in our grant programs, on the last slide of my presentation you will find a link with more details about this project. And in Poland, one of our most important and the largest project is the social campaign and Bookstart program called Small Book Great Person. The program fits perfectly into the mission of our institution, which is to increase readership in Poland and to reach out for completely new readers. For several years, the decline of readership has been a very negative tendency in Poland. For us, as an institution responsible for promoting reading, now it is a big challenge to find interesting and effective ways to create new reading trends and build engaged audience. And before we created a model of our project, we had brainstormed a lot. We talked and shared experience with experts and animators of literary life in Poland. We also had looked for effective and successful reading projects around the world. And after this long process of research, we had some conclusion for the future. If we want to raise the level of leadership in Poland, we have to start from the beginning. So we have to start from children in the first month of their life, and of course as well, we have to also think about their parents, grandparents, teachers, librarians. We also knew that we have to plan all our activities in long-term and nationwide perspective and with a holistic approach. And of course, when we were preparing our Bookstart project, we tried to learn from foreign institutions. It was very important for us to know models of Bookstart project we have been implementing all over the world for many years and which have been initiated by the British Book Trust Children Reading Charity. Now we are the part of the international EU-Read network and book giving programs. It helps us a lot to improve our project and to share knowledge and experience with other experts. It's important to add in the beginning that in Poland for several years we have tried to introduce Bookstart program on a national wide. Over the last decade, more than several state and non-governmental institutions managed to realize similar projects dedicated to children. However, none of them was long-term and nationwide in nature, and it was difficult mostly because financial and logistical issues. The Book Institute itself also worked to make the Poles aware of the role of reading in the life of every child. All this was possible thanks to the effort of the team and the social campaign Small Book Great Person, which teaches about the benefits of reading together in the family from the first month of child's life. At the same time, young parents in maternity wards receive unique reading guides which contain book, first poem form, and the booklet connected by a book, the role of reading in a child's life. When we started on the project, together with the team of experts of children's illustration and literature, we knew that the greatest challenge would be the question: exactly what kind of book was supposed to be the first one that a child would be given from the Polish government? There was one thing we were sure of. Our book had to meet the quality standard, that is, the illustration and the text were to be the highest quality. On the one hand, we wanted to show the parents of the newborns what is the best in book design. On the other hand, the book was to be universal, approachable, readable, attractive for both highly educated parents and that who's not so often reach for the books. The model decision was that we create a new book. It was an anthology titled The First Poems For, being a collection of 10 poems written by the acclaimed Polish poets like Julian Tuwim, Jan Brzechwa, Ewa Szelbuk-Zadąbina, Józef Czechowicz and Ludwik Jerzy Ken. The majority of poems, which by the way are from the canon of children's literature, all were known, prized, republished and read from generation. The rest of the texts are contemporary ones, written by the noted authors whose reading are the core of the current literary education in Poland. Why the decision to reach for the canon? There are several reasons. First of all, being aware of the fact that a large group of people don't read regularly and don't buy books, through the involvement of the state we wanted to present the literary legacy worth knowing in the complementary copies. It was the first step for the readers to dive into cultural education. Second of all, there is a very important message we incorporate in our campaign Small Book Great Person. And the message is that we want to promote cross-generational reading. Reading itself is beneficial for child's development. It's fun, but most of all, it builds strong and lasting family bonds. A habit of daily reading provides a child with the feeling of comfort and safety. We assumed that parents and grandparents would more willingly read for the youngers if they discovered the text from their childhood. It would create the bond and intimacy so proud for the children. And such is the most important role of book, to build the bridges between the generations. Therefore, there was also the first slogan and call to action of our campaign: be close and read to your child. Familial dimension of the publication is visible also in the selection of illustrations. The book First Poem 4 is beautifully illustrated by a married couple of artists, Ewa Kozyra-Pawlak and Paweł Pawlak. In the booklet the parents receive with the book, we try to emphasize that reading to children has a power to change their life. We give parents some advices written by the expert, books recommendation and ideas how to develop child skills by means of reading. And since December 2017, we have been distributing about 30,000 books a month in over 360 hospitals throughout in Poland. It's important to add that it is about 95% of all state hospitals in the country. And thus far, 1 million reading layets have been given out under this program. I would like to add that Small Book Great Person is not only book gifting project, but also the social campaign presented on television, radio, press and in public space. It has a strong social media presence on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we also run a website where we collect valuable materials to help parents, librarians and teachers to develop children's reading passions. We cooperate with celebrities who are ambassadors of our campaign, with influencers, readers, other institutions and partners. Moreover, we organize events for children and parents, and we are present on the most important book fairs and conferences. Using these tools, we try to share mission of our institute and our campaign. We want to say that it's never too early to read to children, so parents could start just after childbirth. We want to promote cross-generational reading and emphasize the role of adults in reading to children. We remind about the importance of reading in child's development and about social, language, emotional and intellectual benefits of reading. We convince that reading to children influences success in their adult life and that books are the best gift we can give to children. The second step of our campaign is dedicated for children beginning preschool education. It's aimed to encourage parents to visit libraries frequently and to read daily with their children. Every child who comes to the library participating in the project receives a special gift. It's a reading guide, which includes the book First Reading Book 4. It is an anthology of texts written by prominent Polish authors with illustrations of outstanding author Józef Wilkoń. Moreover, children get a little reader's card, and for each visit to library, resulting in borrowing at least one book from the children's book collection, the little reader receives a sticker, and after having collection 10 of them, he is honored with a personal certificate confirming his reading interest. And you can believe us that children have really a lot of fun taking part in this project. And children in Poland can collect books at almost 6,000 libraries across the country. Since 2018, more than 500,000 of books was given to children. Many libraries which cooperate with us, and we have to say that that is super important cooperation for us, prepare a lot of activities for children and their parents. They're usually free of charge. It's important for both, for children because they have a chance to participate in some creative, interesting event, but also for librarians because they have an occasion to reach new readers. And a lot of librarians claim that project helped them to reach completely new audience, both children and their parents. And last but not least, the first step of our campaign, which is dedicated to children starting primary school. We started this project in 2020, and every first-year student starting school can receive a book that is a selection of the best classics texts written by the Polish authors. Illustrations for this book are designed by Iwona Chmielewska. She is an artist well known around the world, 3 times awarded with Bologna Ragazzi Award. We wanted to present children with a book for a good start in their school education and to mark first steps in the process of learning to read. In 2020, 380,000 children in 40,000 primary schools received the reading guide. It was the book First Alphabet and also some special booklet for children with literary games. And thus far, in the whole campaign, 2 million reading guides for newborn, preschoolers and students have been given out of our program. And the whole campaign is fully financed by the Minister of Culture, National Heritage and Sport. The Bookstart project of the Polish Book Institute is planned for the long term. From the very beginning, we cared for a coherent, long-term plan within the framework of which we will take care of shaping reading habits and increasing readership among children at every stage of their development. The positive is that after the years of decline in Polish readership, now we could have seen some growth for last 2 years, especially in the term of young people. We firmly believe that it's also because of our campaign. And the last year, the slogan of our campaign was "The book was growing with a child," because the book can be the best friend and help in development in every age. As well, we firmly believe that readership in our countries and our societies can grow along with children. So all of us, like institution, publishing houses, parents, should do the first step towards developing children's love for book, which will bear fruit in the future. Now I would like to thank you for attention. We also would like to recommend you a special booklet, which is a presentation of the best books for children and young adults, and you can find it on our website. Thank you for your attention.